I never believed in monsters. Not the ones under the bed, not the ones in the closet. I was too old for that nonsense. Or so I thought. It started on a Tuesday, just another ordinary day. I came home late from work, microwaved some leftover pasta, and fell into bed. Nothing out of the ordinary, but then I woke up. The digital clock on my nightstand glowed an eerie 3:17 a.m. I blinked, confused. What had woken me? The apartment was silent, dark, yet something felt off. I lay there, heart pounding, straining my ears. Nothing, just the faint hum of the refrigerator and the occasional car passing outside. But I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't alone. You know that prickle on the back of your neck? That certainty that someone's watching you? Yeah, that. I told myself I was being ridiculous, stressed from work, that's all. I rolled over, pulled the covers up, and eventually drifted back to sleep. The next night was the same. Work, microwave dinner, bed. But this time, when I woke at 3:17, the feeling was stronger. The darkness seemed thicker somehow, oppressive. I reached for the lamp, but my arm wouldn't move. Sleep paralysis, I realized with a jolt of panic. I'd read about it, but never experienced it before. I tried to calm myself, knowing it would pass. That's when I heard it. Breathing, not mine. It was coming from under the bed. Heavy, ragged, inhuman. I wanted to scream, but my voice was frozen along with the rest of me. I lay there, terror clawing at my insides, listening to that awful sound. After what felt like hours, but was probably only minutes, the paralysis lifted. I shot up, fumbling for the light switch. The room flooded with harsh fluorescent light. Nothing. No monster. No intruder. Just my messy bedroom, exactly as I'd left it. I didn't sleep again that night. The next day at work, I was a zombie. Colleagues asked if I was okay, but how could I explain? Oh, just hearing monsters under my bed, no big deal. I considered calling my mom or maybe a therapist. But what would I say? I'm a grown man afraid of the bogeyman. So I did what any rational adult would do. I bought a nightlight. That night I left it on, its soft glow barely penetrating the shadows. I lay awake for hours, staring at the ceiling, jumping at every creak and groan of the old building. 3:16 a.m. My eyes were heavy, finally drifting closed. Something touched my ankle. My eyes flew open. 3:17 a.m. It wasn't the brush of a sheet or the phantom touch of a half-dream. This was real, cold, long, like fingers. I yanked my foot away, heart thundering in my chest. The touch came again, more insistent this time, grasping. I leapt out of bed, stumbling in my haste. The nightlight flickered, shadows dancing across the walls. For a long moment I stood there, trembling. The room was silent now, still, but the feeling of being watched was overwhelming. I knew I shouldn't. Every horror movie I'd ever seen screamed at me not to do it, but I had to know. Slowly, so slowly, I bent down. My hands shook as I gripped the edge of the comforter. I looked under the bed. What I saw, it wasn't possible. My own eyes stared back at me. My face, but wrong. The smile was too wide, stretching inhumanly from ear to ear. And the eyes, God, the eyes, they weren't mine. Couldn't be mine. They were ancient, knowing, hungry. It spoke, though its lips never moved. You're in my bed. I ran. I don't remember deciding to move, but suddenly I was out in the hallway, slamming the bedroom door behind me. I dragged a heavy bookcase in front of it, hands shaking so badly I could barely grip the wood. I spent the rest of the night huddled on the couch, every light in the apartment blazing. I told myself it wasn't real, couldn't be real. I was having a mental breakdown, that's all. Stress, lack of sleep, maybe I'd eaten something bad. But deep down, I knew. Whatever I'd seen, whatever had spoken to me, it was real. And it wasn't going away. The next few nights I slept on the couch, or tried to. Every sound made me jump. The settling of pipes, the wind outside, the neighbors moving around. It all sounded like footsteps, like something creeping closer. I started seeing things out of the corner of my eye, shadows that moved when they shouldn't, reflections in windows that didn't match what they should be reflecting, and always that feeling of being watched. I couldn't go on like this. I had to face it, had to know. So tonight, I'm going back into that bedroom. I'm going to look under the bed again. Maybe I'll find nothing, and I can write this all off as an epic bout of paranoia. Or maybe, no, I can't think about the maybe. I have to do this. If you're watching this, if I don't come back, don't look under the bed. Don't investigate strange noises. And for God's sake, if you see your own face smiling at you from somewhere, it shouldn't be. Run. Because I think I've figured it out now. It's not just under the bed anymore. It's in the mirrors, in the shadows, in the spaces between seconds. And it's hungry. I can hear it now. Scratching, whispering, calling my name. It's time. If this is the last thing I ever say, I'm sorry. I should have listened to that childhood fear. Should have kept the lights on and my feet safely tucked under the covers. Because now I know the truth. The monsters are real, and they're coming for me. Man speaking, voice trembling with fear, pausing frequently. When I was just a kid, my grandma, she told me something I'll never forget. She said, if you ever hear a baby crying in the woods, run, don't stop, don't look back. It doesn't matter how real it sounds. It's not human. I laughed it off back then. Thought she was just a crazy old lady with her scary stories. But now I know better. Last night, I went back to those woods, and I heard it. God help me, I heard it. It all started when my sister vanished. She went for a walk down by that old trail near the lake. You know the one, where they say they drowned that witch hundreds of years ago. She never came back. All we found was her phone, still recording, and the last thing on that audio. It chills me to the bone just thinking about it. A baby, crying, in the middle of those dark woods, at 2 in the morning. Pause, deep breath. We called the police, of course. They searched for days, found nothing. Said she probably just got lost. But I knew something had called to her. Something had taken her. So I went back into those cursed woods. Flashlight in one hand, recorder in my pocket. Fear crawling under my skin like insects. I didn't want to find her. Not really. I needed to know what took her. At exactly 2:07 a.m. I heard it. The crying. So faint at first, like it was coming from far away. Or from underground, like it was rising up from the earth itself. And then I saw it. Between the trees. A cradle. Old rusted metal. Rotting wood. It was rocking. Gently. But there was no wind. Not even a breeze. Voice drops to a whisper. I got closer. My flashlight started to flicker. My heart, I could feel it shaking inside my chest. Inside that cradle, there was a blanket, and underneath, something moved. I leaned in. Slow, so stupid. I lifted that blanket and sharp intake of breath. It wasn't a baby. It had the shape, but no skin. Just raw, glistening flesh. And its eyes, pitch black. It didn't blink, didn't breathe. It just stared and smiled. Then I heard a voice. Deep. It didn't come from anywhere around me. It came from inside. Now, it said, you are the mother. I ran. I ran faster than I've ever run in my life. But it didn't matter. Because when I got home, when I finally thought I was safe, the cradle was there, in my bedroom, rocking by itself. Pause, shaky breath. That's when she appeared. In the hallway, the witch. She was terrifying. Tall, so tall. Her skin decaying. Not of this world. She looked at me and said, you didn't care for my daughter. And then she handed me that thing. That creature. Long pause. I'm in the forest now, inside that cradle, crying. I've become the bait, to lure the next victim, to continue this cycle of horror. Voice drops to a whisper again. So listen to me. Listen carefully. If you ever hear my cry, it's already too late for you. The curse, it's spread. And now Now you're part of it too. Sound of baby crying fades in, then abruptly cuts off.